Hello and welcome Success Secret Nation to this episode of the Success Secret podcast with your host Hussein Talib. In this episode, we are going to be talking with my guest about moving from challenge to opportunity and how to create a life by design. Joining me for this episode, Carly Pepin. Carly is an international speaker and consultant with a specialized focus on human behavior. She shares the message that regardless of one's background, even individuals encounters personal and professional challenges stemming from their own perceived flaws. The key is to fulfilling life is how you transform your and these stories. So, Carly, welcome to this Success Secret podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
I said a lot of successes in the past, so I'm just successes is like it became like a word like an entrepreneur, so it's becoming hard to spell. So,
Yeah.
so first of all, because this is the Success Secret podcast, and before we dive into how to move from a challenge to an opportunity and find that, I want to know what do you personally define success as, and how do you see or hear other people around you define or have
Mhm.
certain misconceptions around success?
Yeah. So when we think about success, I see a lot of people focus on that as an achievement of a goal, right? An achievement of a goal, something that they've accomplished, received, almost like a reward in a sense. And what's really interesting is like when I think about success, it's not actually the achievement of the goal, it's the journey that you're on with the many goals. Right? Because success, you could achieve a goal and then all of a sudden you realize, wow, I didn't think that that was going to give me what I thought it was. And I actually still feel unfulfilled, right? But when you kind of connect your life with your purpose, your bigger why, and all of those bits and pieces are connected into your day to day, whether you achieve the goal or not, you're not happy, you're not sad, you're grateful for how your life goes, and you're more enjoying the journey along the way, which is the longest period of time when we think about success. So I like to think about the success as the longer period of time, not those like short instant hits of gratification from that momentary second of receiving an award or an accolade. Like it's the longer period of time.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Mhm.
like we see a lot of, for example, Olympic athletes work for years to achieve one medal. Sometimes they don't.
Yeah.
So that's very important to work. It's about the process or the progress of things, I guess. It's more important than anything else. So, because we learn if we fail in general. So now, in your opinion, when we talk about challenges and opportunities, a lot of us would see life as challenging and we don't usually see the opportunities that may be in front of us. Why do you think is that? Is it a mindset thing or is it like people around us with the negative thoughts? What's the issue with that?
It's mainly your perceptions, your mindset, right? Because if we think about it, you look at individuals on this planet who are doing things that inspire us, right? That and there's nothing without challenge. There's no person who has no challenges in his life, no matter what they're going through, and they don't have challenges. It's just more important to embrace and find the challenges that inspire you. When we think about Elon Musk, there's a really cool video where he talks about never giving up. And if you go, I think you just Google on or YouTube, never give up, and you'll see Elon Musk do it. But when he says it, you'll also watch him say, when the interviewer says, well, how do you feel that some of your heroes are basically saying that he shouldn't be doing this and going against you? And he's like, well, I'll never give up, right? But he also tears up and he cries, right? So there's a level of sadness because some of the people that he has looked up to as the greatest individuals on this planet are coming against him. Is he stopping? No. So does the negative impact and the feedback from other people actually stop you? Absolutely not. We're the ones who stop ourselves, right?
Mm.
And so when you have something that's so important to you, when that why is big enough, you're going to push if the opportunities, if you can't see them right away, you'll push to find opportunities. You'll push to go uncover and discover them because sometimes there's plenty that are right there. And sometimes it takes us doing the work to actually go find the opportunities. And that's when we're embracing challenges as opposed to thinking we need to run from them. But again, it's part of that journey that we love because it's really important that we find something that aligns with us that we love so much that it's like, well, I'm going to do this anyway. It's going to be hard, but I'm going to do it anyways. Of course I'm going to do it. I love it.
Yeah, but this is the issue. Like sometimes when we have certain things going the wrong way, we start comparing ourselves to other people. Like we had the same you start thinking like other people or someone else I saw that for example had the similar situation but they had a better opportunity and they did not get the challenge for example. So this story of comparing our stories with other people is one of the issues that like we need to realize that we actually have our own stories, and we don't take others people's stories and we don't give them our stories. Like life is abundant already, but we need to be, let's say, present, or like try to climb the mountain, I would say, right?
Yeah, the comparison is a beautiful thing to bring up. I'm super grateful you did it because we get so caught up in our comparisons of what we think we should be or we're supposed to be that it does make us lose track of who we actually are and the path that we're on and the one that we truly love and inspires us. So even the example of the Olympic athlete, right? Like an Olympic athlete, they may win a gold medal and that's a great achievement, but it's not an achievement for being at the Olympics. It's the achievement, as you're saying, for the everyday what they're doing and investing to make sure that they achieve that medal, right? And that's part of the journey that they're inspired by. If I sit there and I look at an Olympic athlete and I judge myself and I say I'm not as fit as an Olympic athlete, that's massively unrealistic expectation I'm putting on myself, right? And then if I try to go get that fit, I'm like, I don't have the time to invest like an Olympic athlete in that. Like I have like a business and I have like other things that I'm doing. It would be insane for me to do that, right? So if I think I need to have a body like that, it's like according to who? Well, I've labeled that individual with the fit, toned body as better than mine in that moment. I've compared myself to them, not realizing that that's not important to me and that's not what I'm going to go and achieve. We also put people on a pedestal because we haven't admitted that we have that in our own form, right? So the athletes are a great example because if I look at someone who's really fit and toned, I can look at them and say, well, what do I actually admire about that? And I admire their dedication to wake up daily to really master something, right? That's what I admire. Can I look in my life and see where do I wake up daily and master things? Absolutely. I'm doing it in my business, my personal development, my education, my growth, and other people's businesses and human behavior. That I wake up every day, like an athlete, and focus on that, right? So I'm actually not missing anything. I just thought for a moment their form was better than mine until I identify my own. And what that gives us the opportunity to do is it actually like I could sit there and say, I don't want to be an athlete. I don't want to wake up every day and exercise like you. That's not my destiny. I'm still going to make sure I'm not going to subordinate to you and say I should exercise, I should eat this way, I should do that. I'm going to wake up every day and say I'm already doing what I love to master my life. I'm already doing what you're doing and I'm doing it in my form and I'm going to keep doing that. And the funny thing is that's where we feel the most fulfilled. And that athlete can look at my life with a fine-tooth comb. They'll never do what I do. They never will. And not because they're not capable, not because they're not, amazing individuals, they just don't want to. And if they compare themselves to me and try to do that, they're going to feel challenged, they're going to feel frustrated, they're going to get exhausted, they're going to hate their life because they're not focused on what they love. And so that's like when comparison comes in, it's that imposter syndrome of I should be doing it this way, as opposed to looking at, well, where am I already doing this in my life, in my form, and loving and appreciating the form you do it in instead, and just go hard on that because you already love it. Like,
Yeah.
already, yeah.
Definitely, we need to stop comparing stories, because someone started 10 years ago is different from someone starting now to do whatever the goal might be. So the mindset should from the beginning, I would say, like, should be like we want to achieve certain thing, but at the same time, the mindset should be like it's the progress and have certain, let's say, maybe being resilient. So, do you think being resilient is something that we should have or apply? Because sometimes someone would say, like, everything in my life is a challenge. Everything is a challenge. I never get an opportunity. I never get an opportunity. So, how important being resilient to certain things in life
Mhm.
could be?
Yeah, well, in those moments when people say that, and I just immediately say like that's BS. Like we have 24 hours in a day and there's 7 days in a week, and I actually go through to see where their successes are. So this is a great opportunity. Like if you have that perception and that story is running, just stop, sit down, and write down every single day where you have little successes and where you have resilience. And you're going to see that it's going to all formulate and all come together and all be grouped around certain areas of life and certain aspects of life. That's your life purpose. Those are the things that are most inspiring to you. That athlete that we look at when we look at Elon Musk, they're resilient because not because they're special, not because they have something you don't. It's just because we're watching them focus on something that's inspiring to them, and we see this a lot with parents as well, right? Parents and individuals who are like, okay, well, what would you do for their kids, right? And it's like, oh, heaven and hell for my children. That sounds like resilience to me. That's genuinely resilience. And it's like, it's not that you don't have it. You just have it in the area of life that's most inspiring to you. And so it's funny, I just did this the other day with a client where we were going through where they had resilience. They didn't think they had resilience. And I was like, okay, well, let's find it. And when we found it, because they had the imposter syndrome, by the way, they were comparing themselves to someone else. They're like, I can't do something this hard because I don't have that resilience. And I was like, well, let's see where you have the same level of resilience as that other person. They had it in their relationship, their health, their personal development, their growth. They had phenomenal resilience, right? And so they thought they needed to have it in this one specific area. But when they got to see where they actually had it, I was like, are you afraid to face this tough thing anymore? And they're like, nope, I got it. I definitely have it. I didn't see I had that level of strength and resilience, but now I know I have it. So even if you're saying, like, I don't have it, again, you do have it, but you have it in the form that you have purpose around because you will do anything, literally anything. You will go through any amount of pain to get the pleasure of fulfilling that purpose, any amount of pain. And so when I say, talk about living a life of purpose, I'm not doing it because it's a fluffy reason. This isn't actually for the fluffy, feel good reason. This is because I know that you're most successful there. I know that any challenges that are thrown at you, you're going to say, I can get to the other side. I want to get to the other side. I'm going to figure out how to get to the other side. And to me, that just sets you up for an inspiring life that every day, like if I'm not around, you don't need a cheerleader, you're going to do it anyways. And that's the most important thing, right? It's not about like being a pleasure seeking individual. Trust me, you'll get the pleasure from living in your life purpose for sure. But at the same time, that's not the goal. The goal is to make sure that you're so inspired by not just the support that you're receiving, but also the challenges, that all of a sudden the journey becomes like this level of, oh my gosh, look what I get to do. And all of that self-confidence that you're dying to have, it's built on that journey. Because every time you overcome a challenge, every time you get to the other side, guess what you do? You increase your self-worth and your self-confidence, and that's compound interest. It doesn't go away. It just keeps stacking up the more and more you do it. So the more I'm the more I'm pushing people to face challenges that fulfill them, the more I know they'll get to the other side of it, which means the more that self-confidence and self-worth is going to build up. And I'm like, let's do it. Compound interest. It works on you too.
Good. That is a great point. Like being doing certain things, like and feeling its compound interest. But you mentioned very like talking about purpose, and you mentioned, let's say the I would say the support maybe of others. Like, do you think these two are important? Like sometimes someone would say, for example, I have all the people around me are negative. No one is supporting me. They are bringing me down. And also on the other side, like if we talk about life's purpose, someone would say, I don't even know what my purpose is. So what would you say to these people?
Yeah.
Whatever the type of purpose, like whether it's
Yeah.
I think it's shallow or not shallow, deep, very important thing in other people,
Yeah.
whatever the type it is.
For starters, if we think about that statement, like, I can't do this because everyone else is bringing me down, what a disempowering statement. You just told me that every person around you is more powerful, like 100%. That's what you're saying. Like, every single person is just so much more powerful than you that they can control you and they own you. Are you locked up in a cage? Do you have handcuffs on? No, you don't. You're listening to this podcast. Like, you have a level of freedom. And every time you say that, you're actually disempowering yourself as opposed to looking at things in a different way. People aren't controlling you with negative thoughts. If you're taking those on, and those are things that you're taking on yourself, you can't take on a negative thought about yourself that you already didn't have a belief in. And this is a really beautiful reflection component because people say like negative things to me all the time, right? Negative, positive. The ones that impact me, I look and I'm like, I agree with them and I have a judgment, right? The other ones where they say it to me and it doesn't even impact me, I'm like, yeah, yeah, I totally have that, but it doesn't bother me because I don't judge myself for it. So this is actually a feedback mechanism. And when you say like it's holding you back, what you're actually doing, you didn't realize, and nobody teaches this, by the way, that it's just feedback. When we have emotion around it, it's feedback that we share the same judgment as them and we're frustrated with ourselves. We have guilt and shame, resentment towards ourselves, right? And this is a really cool opportunity for us to actually dive in and clear that. So then when they say it again, you won't even notice. It's just like, oh, yeah, yeah. Oh my gosh, they said it again. It didn't even bother me, right? So we kind of mistook it for something else. And then because we get emotional around it, that's what controls us. They don't control us. Our emotional reactions control us because those are the things that spiral out of control, get us the brain noise, get us all like mixed up in our head so that we actually can't focus on the task at hand. Because if we didn't have the emotions around it, it would just be nothing, right? You just like wipe it off your shoulders. It's not a big deal. So that's why it's like when you think about, I only have the negative people around me, it's not actually the negative people, it's that you're having an emotional reaction to what they're sharing. And so the personal empowerment within is how do I actually clear that own judgment on myself? So if someone said that again, I'd be okay. Because we go out and we look at individuals in the world, the bigger that you get and the more people you reach, it's not like the more people that are going to support you, for sure, you'll have a lot extra support, but you'll also have the same degree of challengers, right? Donald Trump is a beautiful example. It's just so clear and so evident. To the degree he has support in the world, he has the same quantity of challengers. And if he stops doing what he's doing, or anyone on this planet stops doing what they're doing because they have someone challenging them, well, then obviously it must not have been that important to you. Because why would you stop doing what you love because someone said that you shouldn't, or someone gave you some feedback that wasn't awesome? And another cool thing to look at, because again, if you're running that story in your head, I want you to go through your life and see who's actually supporting you. Because I guarantee it, to the degree that you have challenge, you have the same quantity of support in your life. And you are most likely just frustrated because you expected it to come in a certain form and you're not appreciating the form that it actually came in. So when you say, like, I only have negative people around me, I know that you're not appreciating the form of the support and where it's actually coming from. But when you ask those questions, you can genuinely appreciate that support. And then the other thing too is ask how the criticism serves you. Like, and this is part of the overcoming any challenge. Ask how whatever you're going through that is hard and difficult is serving you and your life purpose. And when you can see that, all of a sudden you realize, like, wow, this is actually helpful, right? Sometimes the criticism pushes us to use our voice, right? Sometimes we're quiet and we haven't set boundaries, we're not using our voice, and it pushes us into the forefront. It makes us do that, right? Sometimes the criticism, I don't know about you guys, but this is a good one for me, where someone will criticize me and I'll be like, watch me. I will show you, and I can't wait to reach back out when I do exactly what you say I couldn't do. And then I do it. And then I do reach back out. Like, because I am that person, because I'm like, yeah, I could do it. And I believed in myself. But at the end of the day, it's funny because it's not important for them to believe in you. It's important for you to believe in you and you to actually go do it, because their support does nothing. Their support doesn't get you there. It's your actions that get you there. And as long as you believe in yourself, that's the thing that's going to get you to achieve what you want, not anyone else's,
Yeah,
emotional support.
definitely.
Yeah.
So I would say like two
Mhm.
important things here. I would encourage people to focus on and have accept feedback, but not be impacted by the criticism. I would say, right, and also don't judge ourselves. Like even if it's a positive, great. If it's not, like I would say, like it goes from one ear, it goes from the other ear. So this is how it should be, right?
Yeah, that's actually part of our process of growth and evolution. And don't have unrealistic expectations to figure this all out at once. Because when you're a kid, there's going to be a different type of criticism that you have now. And in 5 years, even a year, in a month, you might have a different criticism. In a year, in 5 years, 10 years, it's not ever going to go away. It's going to be with you forever. And so we just work on it in different bits and pieces as it comes up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So it's cool.
So Carly, what is the worst advice that you have ever received?
What's the worst advice that I've ever received? What's the worst advice? Someone told me to put all my money into crypto. That was pretty bad. And I didn't, and I'm super grateful that person lost all their money, by the way. Yeah. So I have like nice little balanced portfolio that I feel really comfortable with, and I risk a small percentage that if I ever lost it fully. But that's like venture capitalists. Like it's the highest risk investment that you can have because it's very well, I would say it's even more worse because it's very emotionally driven. There's really no right now, maybe later, there's really no like solid concrete background behind it. There's no business, there's no structure. And so we're really just basing off of how people feel. And so that's a rough one. So that was like the worst advice ever. And I'm glad I didn't follow it because they lost all their money. Yeah. Yep.
So what would you say your best resources, tool, or books, or your final takeaway for our episode here?
Quality questions, guys, and we've already shared some today. It's like one of the best questions that you can ask when you're going through a challenge is how is this serving me right now? How is this going to serve me in the future? What am I learning from this? How is it helping me to grow? Like when we can ask those questions and we see it, you get from a level of like any challenge that you appreciate and you can think about this. I know that you won't want to run from, and you're like, yeah, it's hard, but I do it anyways because I like the hard. It's something I want to achieve. But when you're asking those questions around something right now that you do want to run from, that is really hard, it takes it from feeling like that, overwhelming, exhausting, to, oh, I can overcome this. I can achieve it. And then the hardest thing that's taking up the most noise and giving you the most stress, all of a sudden is no more stress. It goes away. So keep asking the question until you become grateful for it and you're like, I don't need this to change. That's the key. The second that you say, I actually don't need this to change, that means you have an equal amount of benefits to the challenge as you've had drawbacks. That's the key. You say, I don't need it to change. I appreciate it. I'm okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much,
Yeah.
Carly, for joining me for this episode. Great insights and really amazing perspective into new things and to how to change, to take it from challenges to opportunities and how we can improve our lives and be a better human in general. And yeah, thank you very much for joining me. And where can people learn more about you and get in touch with you?
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me in the inspiring conversation. And they can go to carlypepin.com, best place. You can contact me directly or find any social media platforms you want to contact and connect on as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much,
Yeah.
Carly, for joining me. Great, great one. Thank you.
Thank you.